What's up, Auburn Nation? It's Jimbobbington. I'm parked near some school over here, Ponderosa. But check it out. What we are doing today, well, first of all, this may be the last motorcycle ride I ever take with these stock shocks on. I ordered some progressive 444s. And they should be getting delivered today. So definitely subscribe so you can be notified when my install video and review comes out for those. I'm excited for that. But today, in particular, we are talking about the 1920 seat. What the hell is going on over here? Just playing with my water. Taxpayer money at work. 1920 seat. One of the most common questions I get is it comfortable? So I'm almost at 5,000 miles. I just got my 5K service done a couple days ago. A little bit early. I'm at like 4,700 miles. And I thought it was a good time to really review this seat. I've had it on most of the time I've owned it. And really throw that answer out into the universe. So I can reference a video instead of answering people's questions all the time. It is a good looking seat, in my opinion. One of the best looking seats available. If not the best. So that's why we're starting over here. But let's hop on, take her for a ride. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but I got a little fancy with the turquoise stitching underneath. Just kind of a little thing that only I really know. Let's go for a ride, and we'll talk about the seat. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. So I guess let me start out with why I went with this seat in the first place. There's a couple big reasons. Like I mentioned back in the parking lot, in my opinion, it is the best looking seat you can get. And that was one of the main attractors. I obviously looked at a lot of seats. I looked mostly at Saddlemen. Didn't really take a look at Corbin. I'm not a fan of paying extra just for a name. Obviously, I hear they're very comfortable. But it wasn't my thing. I didn't want to spend an arm and a leg on a seat. There's obviously Alex Leathercraft seats, which I really like. Is that a real... There's a deer just eating that person's bush over there. The Alex Leathercraft seats, obviously, I'm a really big fan of. I've got another video where we install that on my buddy John's old motorcycle. You can check that out up there. I didn't see a lot of Alex Leathercraft before I purchased this seat. They're a similar style, but I don't know, something about the springs. For me, it takes away from the look of this floating tractor seat. Something about that floating style, even though it is rigid and less comfortable, just looks better to me. And I don't know if you have noticed, but I've taken a few chances at certain modifications where you could tell I sacrificed comfort for a more aggressive look. 40 here in a couple weeks, and I figured now is the time in my life where I should take these risks and sacrifice comfort for looking as badass as possible. Maybe someday in the future I will do a comfort build when I get a little bit more decrepit, but for now my goal is badass. Look badass, feel badass, and perform badass. Comfort is not my highest priority at this time. So aside from the look of this seat, the other big reason I went with it was I had several $100s of referral voucher coupons from Indian Motorcycle. Back in 2020, they were doing like if you refer somebody and they buy a motorcycle, you both get $250 vouchers, and you can do that like 3 times, sort of thing. So yeah, I had several $100s to spend at an Indian store, which could only be used on officially licensed Indian goods. So that was another huge bonus to get an OEM seat, because I could get a deep discount and didn't end up spending an arm and a leg on it. The 1920 is not a cheap seat either, and you also have to buy an extra $50 close-off kit, because the kit that comes with the seat was actually designed for the regular Scout, and it's designed to fit with those fenders, and does not work with the bobber. So keep that in mind when purchasing. I could throw the link to the kit down in the comment description below. But yes, badass seat, love it. Number one, yes, it is more comfortable than the standard shitty OEM seat. The OEM seat is pretty narrow, and so it focuses all of your weight on your tailbone, and that is no bueno for most people. I have seen a handful of people say, give it a few thousand miles. It actually breaks in. It's not so bad. Cool, good for them. I bet they have a weird shaped taint or no tailbone or something. I didn't really give this stock seat a college try. I didn't give it a whole lot of miles. I knew I wanted something else that didn't have brown on it, for one. So for that alone, I knew I was going to replace the seat whether it was comfortable or not. So yes, it is comfortable compared to the stock seat. And one of those reasons is this is the widest seat you can possibly buy. It is very flat. There's a little bit of curvature for your cheeks, but for the most part, the width of it is what makes it comfortable. It disperses all your weight out, so you don't have like these heavy pressure points, and you can ride for quite a bit longer without getting those hot spots. The seat itself does raise you up a bit and actually pulls you back, so you are a bit further away from the controls and a little bit higher up. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about seats. They do actually completely change the seating position. Some seats will push you forward because they have like a shaped contour in the back and things like that. What is fucking going on over here? Lots of weird shit going on today. Weird weather, weird people, doing weird stuff. And here we are, just trying to vlog, stay out of trouble. Hello, Jeep. So, would I buy this seat again? Hell yes, I would. There's still not a bone in my body that regrets purchasing this seat. Every time I look at the bike, I just fall in love with it all over again. It really sets off the style that I'm going for. Another thing people complain about a lot is how they feel like they shoot off the back. Oh god. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm really hoping that the new shocks will improve that type of situation. And when I review the rear suspension, I will let you know how that helped improve the seat, or the feel of the seat. It's really you improve the seat and it makes you feel like the suspension improves. And if you improve the suspension, it also tricks you into thinking that the seat has improved. So fixing both, I'm sure, is a huge win. I don't know where this road goes. We're gonna go this way. No, I do know where this goes. Where was I? So yes, 100 times I would buy this again. Now, if ever I do decide this is just not comfortable enough, I will go with an Alex Leathercraft seat. I mentioned this one was wide. The largest seat that Alex offers is still not as wide as this, but they do taper up in the back to kind of hold you forward. Aha, that's what I was talking about. Some people complain that when they accelerate, they feel like they're sliding off the bike and they have to hold on for dear life. I do not feel that's really the case. For me, that may be more related to the overall ergonomics that I've built into the bike. I have a very forward center of gravity, so I think that helps hold me forward and doesn't make me slide off the back near as much as somebody with like ape handlebars, where their center of gravity is further back, and so it's more easy to slide off. But even after getting tuned, it's really not that big an issue. I've never been afraid that my ass was going to hit the fender or anything like that. Obviously, after a really good pull, I kind of have to reposition myself, but that sliding up the back is not a worry or an issue for me. But that may, like I said, overall be due to my extended foot controls and my drag bar, and just the overall ergonomics that I have created, pushing my body forward and folding like a taco. So if you're in the game just for a badass looking seat, you can't look any further than the 1920. If you want something with a similar style but more comfort, the Alex Leathercraft seat cannot be beat. Those springs are heavenly. It changes the comfort level of this style seat immensely. Like I mentioned, we installed this seat mentioned, we installed the seat on my buddy John's motorcycle. I took it for a quick spin through his neighborhood, trying to hit all the manhole covers and things like that, the holes in the road, and it just floats. It was kind of crazy how much improved the ride was. And he still had stock suspension. But yeah, if you have any specific comments that are questions that I did not address in this video about the Indian 1920 solo seat, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer any other questions you have. But I love this seat. It looks better than anything I could possibly spend money on otherwise, and I'm very happy with my decision still, thousands of miles later. Thanks for listening, everybody. This is Jimbobbington reminding you, don't be a skid mark.